Hi, Patty. It's fantastic to talk to you about Wonder Woman 1984. And, what I want to know all about are the new things and big changes you made for this film compared to the first one that fans can look forward to. So the first question I have for you is about Wonder Woman's powers. She has a few new tricks that she can do. So how did you go about introducing and showcasing these amazing new abilities she has?
That was such a fun thing to work on, because here you have someone who, even in the first movie, she's in man's world with her tools for the first time. We watched her get the tools. So she's just started figuring out what you can do with them. All these years later, what would she have figured out to do with the lasso and with, her superpowers and skills? And so getting to watch that come to life was, getting to brainstorm it, first of all, it was so much fun. And then getting to make the, different shots, like the deflecting bullets with the lasso, was just so thrilling.
The final showdown in this movie felt very personal and intimate, whereas the finale to the first film was more of this epic battle with lots of visual effects. So was it a conscious choice to pare things down this time around and make the third act more personal?
That the original end of the first movie was also smaller, but the studio made me change it at the last minute. And so that's always been a little bit of a bummer that that's the one thing people talk about, because I agreed and I told the studio we didn't have time to do it, but it was what it was. And I ended up loving it, but that was not the original ending of the movie. This time around, you know what I loved about it? I love that it has both at the end. We had a visual effects, a big battle, which I just dug into and had such a blast executing, which I felt so satisfied with. But ultimately, the end of the movie is much more pared down. And that was really, really fun. No spoilers. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But yeah, it was really fun to shape it differently.
And how do the two villains, Maxwell Lord and Cheetah, provide a different kind of challenge for Wonder Woman?
I think it's most complicated that she's friends with Cheetah, and so to have watched your friend, so here is Diana, who has such humanity and empathy, and she has watched her own friend go down this slippery slope, and she knows her friend is not understanding what she's taking on and doing. So to have to fight somebody, to fight people who you don't want to destroy. And so you're trying to reach into their heart and mind at the same time as you're in a conflict with them, is such an interesting thing to do. I think Max is great because he just stands for an evil which is so pervasive in this world, but even with him wanting to find a way that, there are some very evil people in the world, a lot like that, because they've chosen to let themselves get there. But at the end of the day, we can't just murder them all. I would love to believe that we could change some people's minds and have them take a look at themselves and why are they doing this, So I loved the challenge of having empathy for him too.
No. I take what I want in return.
I think that something brilliant that Patty Jenkins does with everything she's ever made is there's such an uncompromising honesty to the storytelling, and the characters are always so rich and full. And so, I think that the thing that maybe captured all of our hearts with the first movie was that this iconic superhero that represents good was also given to us with so much humanity, with longing, with curiosity, and discovering love. And so with this, with her antagonist, and similarly with Kristen Wiig's Barbara Minerva, you get to see her, you get to see the building blocks as to from a vulnerable place how she becomes the Cheetah. And I think with Max Lord, his capacity for destruction is actually motivated by a very human thing. And so I don't know, for characters of this size and this grandness to be relatable, I think is it keeps you guessing, and it just makes it a great movie.
So what talents and powers does Max have that makes him so dangerous to Wonder Woman?
Well, they aren't necessarily. He sells dreams, and and I think that his talent is convincing people, and he's an incredible salesman, you know, and while kind of showing people the way to get what they want, it's really what he wants that he's after.
It's all art. Is that just a trash can?
It's just a trash can. Yeah.